know, for the past few weeks, I've really struggled as to whether or not I would have the strength and the will to offer a few words tonight. And I'm not sure I'll be able to finish this, to be honest with you. And if I did, what I would say. And I had written several outlines, and I thought I had it all hammered in place until last night when this group of renegades out here that you'll hear from a little later came to the house and rehearsed and fine-tuned their performance. While I couldn't hear the script or the characters, it became abundantly clear to me what I needed to say tonight. That this is really all about Linda and the impact she had on all of us around her. So let me try to explain. For the first half of her life, she was a sponge, seeking out and absorbing all that she could from her elders. Values, character, wisdom, grace, humility, and most certainly history. The second half of her life, she shared those lessons and qualities with her kids' friends, her family, and even perfect strangers. It's who she was. As we went about the business of defining the essential elements of the foundation, we purposefully focused on what she found important and how she conveyed those facets to others, particularly youngsters. She relished chatting with folks about their stories and their family histories, and hence our goal of making recordings and producing podcasts. She loved art, especially music, dance, and theater. Our motivation for producing an annual performance with the storylines and characters drawn from the recordings that we make in that year. She truly believed that the future was nested in our youth, which is why we're working to develop a student fellowship program with Sheldon High School and their visual and performing arts program. And I think there are 3 or 4 students here tonight helping with all of the activities. And the graduates of that program, all of them will be here on stage. Not all the graduates, but all of them are graduates. And she very much enjoyed the annual traditions and community gatherings that happen each year. And that's our driver to our pursuit to have established the Greater Elk Grove Area History Week. You see, what came through to me last night was the commitment, the passion, and the undeniable excitement that this group of young adults brought to their mission. Typical of what Linda did and would expect. That's what this foundation has to ignite in the next generation. Commitment, passion, excitement about our history and our future. History into the future is more than a tagline. It's our driving force. Through current techniques, mediums, and methods, and with an eye on the realities of the culture of today, we will strive to bring forward to a new generation the elements of history from which we are all derived. If we can do that, we will continue Linda's passion, and we'll add to the richness of the community. We're so excited about the activities underway at the foundation, so thanks to everyone who has had a hand in building what we have thus far. I think Linda would be very happy. She cooperated with the weather pretty good today, although she'd be humbled and somewhat embarrassed with what her family, friends, and the community have done and will do in her name. So let's enjoy some good food, some good music, some good entertainment, some great company, and superb Minor Leap wine, and have a great time tonight. So let's have some fun. Thank you so much.
So what the foundation intends to do is to utilize the performing arts to captivate and extend the message of rich history of Elk Grove, and utilize those performing arts either through recording or live performances to get the word out. And so tonight we're fortunate to see a live play reading. And this is going to be a good example of how we're going to extend this out into the schools and out into the community. And it's going to be in a radio play format, which is kind of cool. It should be a lot of fun, kind of an old-fashioned format with a modern twist on it. And it's written and produced by Mae Mahon Lema and performed by Sheldon High School visual and performing arts alumni. So all of these people are like trained actors and actresses and stuff. So you're getting a really good deal out here. So Michelle, without further ado, why don't you take it away?
Good evening. You're listening to EGR. Elk Grove Radio is made possible by our generous sponsors and people like you. And now, coming to you live from Miners Leap Winery, it's History Tonight. Bum, 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 bum.
Bum. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to History Tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight's subject, as always, history. We all have a part in history, but tonight we're going to tell you the story of one person who was born and what she grew up to be.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather.
But first, let's meet our cast.
I'm Marina Mikovitsa.
I'm Teresa Mikovitsa.
I'm DJ Arnold.
I'm Trisha Arnold.
I'm Lauren Marr.
I'm Michelle Lema.
And I'm Jeremy Wayland. Let's get started.
History is how we remember where we came from.
It's how we know who we are.
It's how we figure out who we want to be.
It's how we learn from our greatest mistakes and gain knowledge from our finest achievements.
We use history to move forward into the future.
You never know when one tiny, seemingly insignificant moment will forever change the course of history.
And these small moments make up the big moments that change the world. Like
The discovery of fire.
The Renaissance.
Shakespeare.
The first books.
The invention of the printing press.
the American Revolution.
The Civil War.
The invention of the telegraph.
The invention of the telephone.
The invention of the light bulb.
World War I.
Pearl Harbor.
World War II.
The invention of the television.
The moon landing.
The civil rights movement.
The Vietnam War.
The invention of the internet.
September 11, 2001.
We remember these moments, locked in time, because so many were lost and so many gave their lives to save others. We cannot forget these moments because they are ingrained in our memories.
But how do we know that future generations will remember?
That's why we tell stories.
We try and understand our history and ourselves through stories. We write the stories down and we put them in books.
But what about those moments that aren't written in the history books? Who will tell those stories? That's where our work begins.
Our story tonight takes place not very far from here.
In the state of California.
Right in the heart of Sacramento County.
In Elk Grove.
Beep, 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 beep.
1882, Mary Ella Umpton marries William Henry Nelms. They have children, and among those children is Bertha Mae Nelms.
Beep, beep, beep.
1880, Olive Chalmers marries John Mann. 1882, John Mann purchases what is now known as the Mann Ranch in Elk Grove. Olive and John later have a child named John William Mann.
Beep, beep, beep.
1903, John William Mann marries Bertha Mae Nelms. Take notes, there will be a test later.
Beep, beep, beep.
Bertha Mae Nelms and John W. Mann have many children, including Lester B. Mann, who married Charlotte Ann Israel in 1944.
Beep, 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 beep.
Lester and Charlotte have 4 children, Robert, Jack, Thomas, and the person whose story we're going to tell tonight, Linda.
February 23rd, 1947. Linda Mae Mann is born.
Linda grows up on the Mann Ranch in Elk Grove. She is proud of her heritage. She spends time with her parents, her grandparents, her aunts, her uncles.
She has aunts that take her to tea. She has uncles who know how to wiggle their ears.
She helps take care of her little brothers. She helps out on the ranch.
She hears stories from her parents and she remembers those stories.
Linda goes to Elk Grove Elementary School and eventually Elk Grove High School. Beep, 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 beep.
Elk Grove High School, 1965. History class. The school day has just begun. Chaos. Some of the students you'll meet in this class.
Clark.
Mel.
And Barb.
Oh,
Everybody, now quiet down. Today we're going to learn about Elk Grove history.
I know all of Elk Grove history.
Yes, Thank you, Mel. Can anyone else list off some of the major families of Elk Grove? Anyone but Mel? Okay. Anyone at all? How about you, Clark?
Huh?
Barb?
Yes, I can.
I know the answer.
Okay, Mel. Go ahead.
You got your Glands, your Uptons, your Manns, your Smiths, your Nelms, your Sherwoods, your Chalmers, your Gages, your Rhodes, your Dares,
Okay, that's quite good, Mel. Thank you.
Very good, Mel.
Teacher's pet.
Later that day, outside Elk Grove High School in the basketball courts, a young man named Dave Lema is confronted by his friend Charlie Haynes.
Dave! My girlfriend wants you to go with her friend Linda to the Sadie Hawkins dance.
Who?
Linda Mann. She's going to ask you out.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Dave, my relationship with my girlfriend depends on you going out with her friend Linda.
Fine.
You're a good friend.
Later, at Dave and Linda's lockers, which happen to be right next to each other.
Hi, I'm David.
I'm Linda. Will you go with me to the Sadie Hawkins dance?
What? This is such a surprise. Yes, I'll go with you.
From somewhere down the hallway, Charlie and his girlfriend Ro listen in and exclaim,
Yes!
Yay!
Meet me at Rolinda's and you and Charlie can take us to the dance.
Later that week on the Man Ranch.
Linda's mother, Charlotte, perms Linda's hair for the dance. Linda thinks she looks like a poodle. Charlotte assures her it looks great.
Fast forward a few months. Linda and David have been dating since the Sadie Hawkins dance. They return to the Man Ranch after a day date to Yosemite National Park and are chatting outside the ranch house. It's getting late, and Linda's father, Lester, who it was said could holler so loud that a cattle could hear him from miles, sticks his head out the upstairs window of the ranch house and shouts,
Linda! Linda! Get inside!
Linda goes inside and the date is over.
Fast forward to the next year. February 14, 1966, William Land Park in Sacramento.
David proposes to Linda underneath a tree in the park.
Will you marry me?
Yes!
Yay!
Linda will later take her daughter to that very spot to show her where David proposed. She would recall that David was, quote, so skinny with red hair and that she thought he was so cute.
Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel of love.
February 4th, 1967, Linda and David get married. Soon after, David is enlisted into the Army. They spend time apart, but their relationship remains strong.
David comes home from the Army, and his mother, Avis, and his Aunt Nellie, and his wife, Linda, are all waiting for him at the airport. He'll never forget the dress that Linda wore that day.
Linda starts working as an administrator at Sac City. As with most places she goes, everyone loves her.
Linda and David travel all over the United States and Canada, the Grand Canyon, Hawaii, Victoria. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again.
1981, David and Linda welcome one son named Christopher, who is a huge nuisance. 1985, David and Linda welcome one perfect angel of a daughter named Michelle.
Over years and years, Linda takes her children to thousands of doctor's appointments, sporting events, plays, and recitals. She also endures the loud singing of her off-key daughter.
Somewhere out there.
And the loud bass music of her son.
Linda and David's children leave home. Linda and David continue to travel and see the world.
They go on trips with their best friends from Elk Grove High School, and lots of hilarious shenanigans occur.
Linda calls her children every day, and she takes the time to tell them stories, so that those stories would live on after her.
These are just a few of the small moments that made up the big moments in Linda's life.
They may not be in the history books, but they are remembered because she told them to her children, and her children will tell their children.
Linda did small things every day that meant a great deal to so many. She wouldn't have ever said that about herself.
And the small things that she did were a great part of the history of Elk Grove.
As Professor Dumbledore from the fictional tale Harry Potter once said,
Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, even if only one remembers to turn on the light.
Linda turned the light on to many people in her life. So to honor her, we are turning that light back on her. Stay tuned to this station as we turn the light on many more stories that need to be told, of people who made a difference, big and small. Stories we only know because someone told them in a crowded room, or over coffee, or in passing. and someone remembered them and told them again.
Before you go to bed tonight, if you are still able to, call your father, your mother, your brother, your grandmother. Call that crazy cousin halfway across the country that you always avoid.
Call them and ask them to tell you their story. And then ask yourself, who will you tell your story to? Thank you for tuning in to History Tonight. Signing off until next time.
I'm Marina Majkovica.
I'm Teresa Majkovica.
I'm DJ Arnold.
I'm Trisha Arnold.
I'm Jeremy Whalen.
I'm Michelle Lema.
And I'm Lauren Marr. Thank you for listening to Elk Grove Radio. From all of us here.
Well, I had the time of my life, and I never felt this way before. Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you.
Thank you.